Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Saber's been drinking now. He's just wandering around the radio station somewhere.
Where is he?
I have no idea.
He went to go pee like 10 minutes ago, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, you ready? You ready? And he goes, I'm just going pee. I'll be right back. Somehow he got lost.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully we can find him here before the end of the podcast.
Well, he said that Denny's had to go down to his truck to get something.
Oh.
Something tells me they went down to his truck to go smoke out.
Well, he's already knocked down several beers.
Oh, you know, beer's a gateway drug. Oh, here they come. Shh. Here he comes. Shh.
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
Well, this is a podcast, right?
Yeah.
What the hell is this shit?
I was looking for you. You had a couple beers. I don't know if you went to the dog track or what happened.
I'd love to go to the track if someone wants to go with me.
Thank God you're still here.
Will they let you bring kids to the track? That doesn't look good.
No, I think you can bring
Yeah.
kids to the track, actually.
Actually, yeah, and it's not bad. When I was a kid, I went to the dog track with my grandpa. He took me to Wheeling, West Virginia, went to the dog track there. I've taken my son Cannon. My older kids went. Yeah, I mean, they a lot of times love watching the dogs run around the track. Yeah, it's a fun, exciting thing. So
Even if you're not into the whole dog thing, I went there one time, and it's so cozy. They have really, really good concession stand type food at the dog track. And if you like blackjack or any of those card games and you have some buddies that you want to play with, it's a lot of fun. It's a very fun atmosphere.
yeah, pretty cheap too.
They have blackjack and poker and all that?
They have all that. They have all room
Yeah, they have a
for all
poker
that.
room. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Go
that-
and gamble
That's
and do
right.
that.
They do have that.
They taught me like a quick way to play blackjack. They gave me like a crash course.
Oh, I'm not good. It's adding, it's numbers.
It was. I had so much fun. You're getting one of those, kind of like what I'm getting right now. You're just kind of sipping on beer and you're slowly getting that nice buzz going on. You're with your friends and you're playing. It's very cozy.
Yeah, it's a good time. That's why he wants to go to the track. I don't blame you. It is a fun time.
Well, I mean, the only time I snuck out in high school, I went to the track with my buddy. Two of my buddies. You know both of my buddies that I did it with. I was about 16 years of age, and I did a quinella bet. And I went 1 for 1 and won like $65 on my first bet as a 16-year-old. Yeah, so ever since then, I'm like, I love the track.
Now, you don't have to show your ID to get that money?
I don't remember how that worked because, I was underage and I definitely won. There's no way I was 18 when I won.
Huh.
I don't know if you have to show I don't think you do, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, at least not back then.
Yeah.
That is good to know.
It seems like when we came up, the rules were a lot softer.
I mean, I used to get into clubs and bars all the time as a 19-year-old. I mean, is it still that easy?
I used to get in as a 16-year-old to nightclubs.
I mean, but you're talking the 80s and you're
Yeah.
talking the 90s, whenever you were, was it the 90s or 80s when you were 16?
It was the 90s. No, it was the 80s.
Damn, you old?
Damn.
Whoa!
It was on the
ouch.
cusp. It was the cusp.
You old as
that
dirt?
hurts.
It was the cusp.
Oh my gosh.
We drove by a bar when I was home for Christmas in New Orleans, and I got flooded with memories. Me and my college roommate, this is long before we went to college. We were still in high school. We went to this bar, and what I would do is I would park my car like right next to the bar on the street, and it's in New Orleans, so there's a balcony.
Yeah.
And there's an entrance down below where you walk in. There's the bouncer sitting down there. I would park my car next to one of the poles that was holding up the balcony.
Okay.
And me and my underage 16-year-old friend would shimmy up the pole. We'd push each other up this pole and jump over the railing of the balcony and get into the club that way because the club was 2 levels.
Would you drink?
We would drink. We would party.
Nobody noticed that?
Nobody noticed.
Would you hook up with guys when you were that young? Would you make out with dudes?
I'm sure. I mean,
Oh yeah.
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 What are we there for? I mean, come on.
Hey, what else are we gonna do? Kill time.
I don't think I'm not sure if you guys were around because when I first started drinking, I was about 19. I came back from college, and there was a bar here where all the underage kids would drink. It was I think 18 or 21 and older.
What was the name of it? Do you remember?
Flirts. It was called.
I remember Flirts. It's on
It's
Seminole
a
Drive, isn't it?
legend. It's a legendary
Off
bar.
Okeechobee.
It was off Okeechobee,
Yeah.
yes, and you would. I was playing
My
baseball.
buddy Dennis was a bartender there.
I probably had seen him before. He
Yeah.
probably kicked me out, to be quite honest with
Yeah.
you. I mean, this was back when Bird was first starting to drink, and you were with your baseball team, and you were just out to have a good time. But yeah, man, it was very easy to get into these bars and clubs. I remember one time I got into a bar that's still open today. That's a lot of people go to still. I got in with an Elvis Presley ID. I shit you
That's
not.
pretty amazing,
I got
yeah.
in
Was
with.
this bouncer blind?
They thought I was the king. I got in with an Elvis Presley. I bought it at a novelty shop, and my friends go, "You're not going to go up there." I go, "Yeah, I'll go up there."
Wait, son, you're from Memphis? Uh-huh.
Yeah. I go, "You're not going to get in." I go, "Guys, I'm going to get into this bar." And I gave him the Elvis. And
Your address is Graceland?
I think the guy was just like, "This guy is just fucking going for it." Yeah, get on in here. I think he liked my act.
Yeah, it's kind of fun reminiscing about the old bars that used to be around for the old dogs. I never saw it, but people were telling me about. I think where Twin Peaks is now is a place called Crujan Liquor Stand. You ever heard of that one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that place. There's
I
a
kind of
place.
wish I'd been around to see that one. That was gone before I got here.
So right where in Harborside, by where that garage is at by the Chili's, and by Harborside, you have the Chili's, you have the movie theater, and then you've
Yeah.
got the garage of Harborside.
Yeah.
That used to be, that place used to go off called Banana Max, and it was very 80s. Think about Cocktail. Think about all
okay.
of those just loud, bright lights. You're like, oh shit, we're going to Banana Max. Now this was before my time. This is where my brother would go, but it was the epitome of the 80s, man.
Wow, that was Jupiter rocking
That
at
was
that
Jupiter.
age?
Yeah, it was rocking. Late 80s, it was called Banana Max. That was a big one.
You should Google it and see if there's any pictures from Banana Max.
Yeah, I mean, that whole area.
I never heard of that one.
In
That
fact,
sounds awesome.
that whole area looked so different 15, 20 years
oh,
ago.
yeah, now it's like totally developed up.
I mean, probably even later than 20 years. We're probably talking 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, the places that were around that you haven't seen, you could probably jump on there and see. Yeah, I didn't see anything like when I Googled Banana Max.
Is New York, the New York bar off of Military and Jupiter? That's another late one where you are just, you don't want to go home and you are drunk. You go to this place. The New York Bar and Grill. Is that still open?
Military? And
No,
where is
US
it?
1 in Jupiter. It's right by a McDonald's and a Burger King. You guys have never been there before?
US 1 in Jupiter?
US 1 Juneau area, right before the beaches. Yeah, it's called New
There
York.
was Jupiter Beach Resort was there. And
That's
I-
still there.
Yeah, that's the only one I know.
I was just there over the weekend.
Gatsby's is another one that was a
yeah, I
big
remember.
one.
Yeah, Gatsby's was great. That was in Village Commons.
That's where, I mean, you're like, oh my gosh, where are all the chicks? It's at Gatsby's. We're going Wednesday night. It's ladies' night.
They would have like baseball players show up.
Yes.
When we first came to town, I remember Kevin was more excited than any of the girls that we worked with because
Oh my gosh,
baseball
yeah.
players were going to be there.
Well, the big ones. It was Mike Piazza was there, and
Steroid Boy went
Mark
there.
McGuire.
Mark McGuire. They were
Yeah.
hanging out together. Yeah.
Mark-
So I was kind of acting like I was almost like in the outside circle of their group. Like, yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out here.
Mark McGuire during spring training was out at Waterway Cafe looking like he was getting ready to lift the tiki.
Yeah, he was huge. In fact, I think I just saw that Piazza just sold his place in Miami Beach. So yeah, he's he was at least still around for a while. That's kind of crazy. Yeah,
Memories.
memories.
Oh, memories.
Memories.
There's other places we're not thinking of.
I got to see more on this Banana Max.
Yeah, man. You'll get one
I
email
didn't
from
see
someone.
I didn't see any photos on Google. And the Crujan liquor stand, I was kind of looking that up, but there's a lot of like Crujan bars.
Yeah, I think that became like a thing.
Yeah.
Because remember, Crujan sponsored the amphitheater for a while.
Yeah, and I think the Crujan people are from here.
Okay.
Do you remember when you had your very first drink? How old were you?
I think I was probably about sixth grade. It was a beer. It was like
grade.
yeah, it was just a little bit of. I was hanging with a buddy of mine. We were like in sixth grade, and it was a beer. I think it was probably like I don't know, an old Milwaukee or something like that. And I just remember like they cracked it, and I tried it. I'm looking. It just tasted like bad water.
It
and I
tasted
was just-
terrible, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And then
Did you drink the whole beer?
no, I only had a couple sips because I couldn't get it down. I was just like, this is awful. Why do anybody drink this stuff? And then first time I really drank was in high school. I remember it was Genesee Cream Ale. And yeah, the first time I ever got hammered was on that beer.
How old were you?
I was probably about like 17. So, and I was late for my class. I was pretty much the last kid in my class to start drinking. In fact, I held out for probably about a year. Everybody was drinking at parties and stuff like that. And I was just kind of hanging out. And then I found myself, I was hanging out by myself like at every party. And I'm like, gosh, it's just awful.
I remember
High school sucks.
Because I didn't drink really till up until the very end of my freshman year in college. But in high school, all my friends were drinking. I was the only one that was not drinking. And I would just go, guys, You don't have to drink to have a good time. I was that guy. Hey guys, can we just hang out and just be friends?
Yeah, I kind of wanted that. I wasn't bent anybody to my will. So
And then I was almost 19. I was benched at Chipola Junior College. I wasn't playing. It was a shitty time. And then I remember all my buddies that were on my team were saying, "We're going to Panama City." They all called me Penny up there. Like, "Hey Penny, we're going to Panama City." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go." And they said, "You got to have a beer." I'm like, "No, man, I'm not going to drink, guys." And I was like, "Fuck it, I'll have a beer." Halfway through the beer, I go, "Let's do this shit. Let's go to Panama City." I mean, it turned
the wolf came out.
Oh, I mean, it turned into. I ended up. I'm not kidding. I ended up judging some
0 to alcoholic and half a beer.
some bikini contest. This is my first time drinking.
They get you.
Oh, I was just like,
That's how they get you.
who wants to see some boobs? I was going ape shit. Oh, it was like a movie.
Is it Club La Vela?
It was Club La Vela.
Party with thousands.
Club La Vela.
Oh, that place was legendary.
Oh, but it was like
Sounds glamorous.
Well, it was like I mean, everyone's cheering. You're like, yes, this is amazing.
They have the contest out by the pool, and then they have like this little catwalk
Okay.
over the pool, and so the girls like walk it and they strut in their little 80s bikini.
Oh,
Sounds
they-
so fun and trashy.
Well,
Oh,
this
it was
was
so trashy.
This was in the
Yeah.
mid '90s, and I mean, girls were just ripping off their shirt. I mean, it was insane.
Couldn't believe it, huh?
It was like a legit for a first time drinking.
Yeah.
I thought every night was like that. It's not.
Talking about the party. Got this email from Jessica. She said, "Hey, I see this truck like at every single corner here in New York this past weekend. I thought of Denny's. The website says that they've got one in Miami. Don't know if you guys have seen one in South Florida. It is called Weed World Candies, and it looks like it's an edibles type truck that sells it right out of it.
It's
Kind of
not.
like a.
It's not. I
It's
saw
not
it-
real weed. I see that at Mardi Gras every year.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a trick.
What is that?
It was at what's that techno thing you made me go to?
Oh, that
Ultra.
music fest.
Music fest,
It was
Yeah.
at Ultra
Uh-huh.
saying they sold weed lollipops and they weren't.
It's the same thing at Mardi Gras. That same company, and people
So it's a
get
false advertisement?
absolutely. It's not
It's
real
just
weed.
lollipops?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, but I know that you can't sell weed lollipops in Miami. You just can't
No.
do it.
Yeah.
It's not real.
It's not recreational around here. And a lot of those festivals don't want. I just saw that I think it was Coachella's not going to allow weed in there, and that's in California.
Yeah.
And recreational weed's allowed.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, they're going to check the bags, and they'll have like a locker, a weed locker, where you could put your stuff and get it. But yeah, they're going to be checking bags and purses and all that kind of stuff, trying to find it. So
That's weird.
yeah,
In California?
I know, it's
Now?
especially
Weird.
at Coachella. You're like,
Now?
what? So I guess you have to smuggle it in your butt. So
People will.
oh, you know they will. You know you want to get high. If you're like going, yeah, I'll smoke it.
I mean, if there's a pothead going to Coachella, he's putting it or she's putting it in their butt.
Got this email from Sid in Lake Worth. He said, since Denny's is such a big-time pothead, I was interested in knowing what snacks he eats for when he gets the munchies. Do you approve of his snack game, Jaybird? Or is it weak? What are the best snacks to eat when you have the pot munchies?
Denny's.
He's not there.
Oh, Denny's.
Yeah.
Where is he? You said he went down to his truck. I don't know if he ever came back.
No, he came back up with me.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
There he
coming
is.
in.
Oh, there he is.
You call. Look, it's like you call him. He's there.
I felt something in the air that my name was being summoned.
Yeah, well, you were. Yeah, your boy over here wants to know. When it comes to munchies, what do you prefer? And he wants Jaybird to critique your munchie game, your weed munchie game.
I'm a
Because I've got a critique.
Oh, you always do.
I'm a salty, savory guy. So I typically do not like sweets, like cupcakes or anything. The frosting makes me like sweaty if I eat it. I don't like it. I think it's got so much sugar in it, your body like speeds up or something.
right. I got you. Yeah, and you're working your way down. You don't
I
want
try
up.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
I try to be low key, but yeah, I don't like the sweet stuff. But I'd say Doritos. Doritos are numero one cut.
Okay.
What do you
They're
think
always
about that? Bird?
fantastic.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. For Denny's being the pothead that he is, his munchie game is weak.
Well, so-
he's got a shitty ass munchie game.
Really?
I try to make.
Doritos sounds fine to me.
No, he's not. Doritos is few and far between. That rarely ever happens.
Oh,
He
really?
eats Doritos here at work when he's not high, and he's not high at work. By the way, people think
Yeah.
when he's on his vape.
No.
There's too much pressure here.
He's
Yeah.
on point.
He's very much on point. But when it comes down, when Denny's has got the munchies, his snack game is bullshit.
Well, so I try to maintain my boyish figure, So I try to eat a little bit healthy.
Yeah.
So I will throw in like a hand size of Doritos.
This motherfucker
But I'll
made
eat tofu. I like tofu a lot.
broccoli over here. I'm
So
like,
if you steam
You eat
broccoli,
broccoli?
Well,
Yes.
so if you steam broccoli and just put barbecue sauce on it, it's fantastic. It's soft.
okay.
It,
got the
it'll
whole,
get
the whole place smelling like farts.
it does. It does smell like farts. I also like those.
Now or when you do it?
When he does it.
Because I did just fart
Did you?
accidentally.
Did you? That's not cool, man.
I'm sorry.
Guess I got a drink.
I laughed. I laughed at it.
You mean now? Now it smells like farts?
But those, I guess they're called snap peas. Like those, like hard.
Oh yeah, those things are
so
great.
good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so if Kevin likes it, you know it's horseshit.
No, that's great. I can see that. Yeah. You have the munchies?
Unsalted chips and salsa is awesome.
Unsalted chips.
Well, because
Yeah,
the salsa,
'cause the salsa's all you need.
It really balances
It's all
it
the
out.
flavor that you need. Yeah.
Those are
So
good.
you put the potato chip with the salsa.
I'll do like an
Interesting.
unsalted tortilla. Or
Okay,
something.
Yeah,
corn
yeah,
chip
yeah.
with
Corn
the
chip,
salsa.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maize chip.
You got an A in my book right now.
Well, that shows you where you're at with your snack game.
Well, so when I was younger, I used to buy those Slim Fast cases, and I'd carry them around like in my car or under my arm.
yeah.
And when I got really stoned, when I had the munchies, like I said, I was trying to stay like maintain like a normal figure.
Yeah.
I would just drink those all day. That was all I drank for munchies,
Oh, really?
and it was awesome.
I would drink 110 of those.
you drink a fair amount of them, but I mean like 2 of them for
Instead of
a
slim
growing
fast,
man.
it's fat fast.
Yeah, if you drink too
Slim
many of
fat.
those, they almost have an adverse
Oh,
effect.
trust me, my mom did the Slim Fast back in the day, and she gained 10 pounds on it.
You can do too much.
I remember her saying, I'm not losing any weight here.
But yeah, Bird's a little right. I mean, his munchie game's on point.
I got a good munchie game. I'm not trying, or I just have a good snack
He's
game.
very proud of himself.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, when you go over there, he brings you bowls of assorted chips and snacks.
Well, it's
Wow.
part of my art decor. When you walk in, I've got these big vases, and it has all types of different candies. So when you walk in, it's art, and you can leave with a snack because I will replenish. It's expensive though. Refilling those things.
He's like a low budget Willy Wonka.
I'm silly Wonka. You're right. That's good, Richard.
Somebody sent in a text about your New York Bar and Grill. It was in North Palm on US 1.
Yes.
Yes, I've been there.
Yeah, it is closed.
Oh.
Wow, man. There was a guy who looked just like Joe Montana there.
Yeah,
And I
probably was Joe
I'm sorry, not
Oh.
Joe Namath. He looked
Yeah,
just like
probably was
Joe
Joe Namath.
And I was walking up to him, and I had a baseball, and I was just getting everyone in the bar's autograph.
Yeah.
And I asked him for his autograph, and he wanted to fight me, and they kicked me out.
Probably was Joe Namath.
Yeah, he used to be down in like Lauderdale, right?
This
Yeah,
guy
he
was
hangs
this guy
out-
was mean and
I
aggressive.
think he hangs out in like North County area. I think he's around this area. I think he's a Palm Beach guy now.
Yeah, he hangs out up in Jupiter area.
And used to play for the Jets, so he'd probably go to a place called New York Bar and Grill.
Was that him?
And he
Probably
probably was
was.
like, "You douche! I'm not a baseball player. I'm a football player,"
Oh my gosh!
I think you actually did probably approach the real Joe Namath.
and insult him.
And I got thrown out.
And then
oh
they
my
threw
God.
you out because you were harassing Joe Namath.
Oh my God!
Because that sounds like you're trolling him.
I just
calling
got
him
clarity.
You're on that show. This is your life.
Yeah. It all came, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we got answers.
What else you need to know, Pumpkin?
Oh man,
This sounds
Don't-
like it
come
fit
on.
too because they said it was a completely seedy place, 50-year-old men with 20-somethings. Nasty place, Jaybird, but that would fit into the Joe Namath kind of place. He would have been probably about 50 years old
And
then.
they always
40,
had
50.
they always had a live band that played way too loud. It's like, hey, how's it going, Virginia?
Yeah.
It was so loud.
Probably
in
be
there.
it, yeah.
Wow.
They were open real late. I think
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
why they had such a seedy
No,
audience.
that is the place you go where you should have been home 3 hours ago. That's what you end up there.
The only place more seedy, the Snuggery.
yeah.
You ever go there?
There's still Snuggery off PGA still going
They
strong.
just redid
I know
it.
they
They
redid it. And
refurbished.
they moved.
They refurbished the inside.
That's where
I think they actually did a facelift on the whole complex that was there.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
so
did.
we did
Still
a
the same shitty place inside.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's got a new.
Those
new
walls
font.
don't lie.
like 7 years ago. We did a snack pack dating game, and that's where we end up going was the Snuggery.
Yeah, I love that place.
You can still smoke in there.
I know it's disgusting. yeah.
I do
Why-
not go.
Yeah, I haven't gone. I went. I used to love it because it's a West Virginia Mountaineer bar, which is like the only one, and a Pittsburgh Steeler bar, and I love both those places. And the guy that has it wins from there. And so, but yeah, it honestly, if you want to know what West Virginia's like, go into the Snuggery. And that really is it. It was like going back home. It's crazy.
I feel like every town, though, has a Snuggery. They have that one bar where it's a little seedy.
You go to my hometown, they have nothing but a Snuggery.
Oh, man.
Every bar.
There's no other options.
Snuggery.
You're all the Snuggery, yeah. Every single one. Got some interesting answers here about Apple Music, Spotify, and the fact that I got the iPhone X, and the main reason was because of the Apple Music and didn't want to transfer over. Jesse sent this in. Say I wanted to chime in about the Apple Music Spotify discussion. I use Spotify, and it's amazing. I started using it back in the day before Apple Music was a thing, and I was tired of shitty Pandora and wanted more control of my music and more diversity so I could discover new music. I pay $15 a month for a family plan. I got my own curated playlist. I can listen to full albums, can listen to radio stations inspired by specific artists. Sounds, pretty much like the Apple Music kind of thing. So I think it really just depends upon maybe what you jumped onto first. And for me, it was just the fact that I've already been on Apple and got my playlists all curated. When we were in Miami, I used Spotify, and I started building a few playlists, there, because that was before I really kind of jumped full-fledged into the Apple, and I was using a desktop computer there. So she said, I don't use Apple Music simply because I got into Spotify first, but it sounds very similar. So I got my husband on board. He loves it. You can also follow artists. So, yeah, a lot of people really like it. In fact, Spotify is doing really well, just to let you know, from, I know, a stock standpoint. Spotify, their listeners are going up. Pandora's going down. So is their stock prices. So
Spotify's a giant right now.
Spotify is on the way up. Pandora is on the way down.
Well, like you were saying, getting locked into Apple, one thing to consider with third-party companies like Spotify, if you switch from Samsung to Apple or vice versa, you're allowed to do that because it's a third-party service. It's not exclusive to one of those companies.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of a nice advantage with any media platform.
Mm-hmm. Just to let you know on that, somebody said, Alex sent this email, said, hey, I switched from iPhone 7 Plus to the new Google Pixel phone, and I looked on the App Store, and I found Apple Music was available there. So I was able to get my Apple Music on a Google Pixel phone.
Yeah, well, so the Google is kind of like the third. It's the late to the party. But my brother just switched to that phone. That phone's awesome. That is a high contender right now.
Google Pixel, okay. So
Google Pixel's very cool.
Maybe even do that over a Samsung phone?
Yeah, the Samsungs are awesome because, the screens are big and they look great. But, the Android operating system is just so crippling to me. No offense to anyone who uses Android. I just find it sluggish.
How much data does Samsung get from an iPhone? What's the difference between data plans?
Get out of here. I know what you're doing.
He does it with this little sheepish, coy grin. Like, you ain't fooling nobody. You drunk.
That's the most phone talk Bert's tolerated.
It's like that drunk person that thinks they're being sneaky. We see you.
I would say I'm drunk per se.
You better finish that other beer before you start a new one.
Damn, don't yell at me.
Beer abuse.
And Jesse said another thing on Spotify, it sends me updates when one of the bands or artists I follow is going to be playing near me. It's great, and one of my resolutions this year is to go to more shows, and Spotify's going to help. I heart Spotify so hard, they should give me a job. So, yeah. So that's some good info there.
Are you a Spotify man?
Yeah, I've got all of them. I got Spotify, I got Pandora, I got the Apple Music. I spend the most time now with the Apple Music.
That's your favorite?
They make it so easy. They do the radio stations, and so I'll listen to that, and they're always updating stuff so I can hear the most current stuff. I listen to the top 40, the alternative in the country, and I pretty much dabble in those three. And then when I hear a song I like that's new, then I grab it and throw it into my own playlist.
Still got a little bit of country Kevin, don't you?
I do. Yeah, it's probably my third format that I listen to. But yeah, every now and then, like it a little bit. So, some good stuff in there. It takes a certain mood for me to be in, though, to go for country.
You don't ever ride that train with old country, do you? You're all about the modern hits.
If you want to talk, when I grew up, like in the 80s and 90s, I knew a little bit of that. But yeah, there's a lot of classic country I don't know. And it seems like there are people that either like new country or old country. And I'm one of the, I know old country people hate me, but I'm more a new country kind of guy.
Me and Virginia, we're old country.
Yeah, We Live and Die by George Strait.
We don't listen to this new shit.
Travis Tritt. Back when country was good.
Modern day horse shit.
New coming fancy pant wearing.
These wannabe country fucks.
Yeah, you gone country, just like Alan Jackson sang about.
Uh-huh. I can play that game with you all day, by the way.
I can't believe Kevin let it go that far.
It's the podcast.
Yeah.
I know, but even on the podcast.
True, you got to shut us down.
Got an email here from somebody who'd like to remain anonymous, and they wanted this on the ATS. A little makeup or breakup. They said, my girlfriend is a, well, they use the word masseuse and maybe considering now massage therapist. But they say that she's been doing this as a career, rubbing people down for about 10 years. Said we were playing Truth or Dare the other night with some friends, and we were smoking some pot, too.
Uh-oh.
Drinking a little wine.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me old girl made a revelation.
Yeah, she did. She got
Damn
a little
it.
loose-lipped, and somebody asked her if she'd ever given anybody a happy ending.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
And I didn't think of the question, but my girlfriend was like, yeah, when I first started out, I did it like 10 times.
Oh, no.
Everybody started laughing. It was the joke of the night. They thought it was the funniest thing. I did not. Actually made me sick to my stomach. She admitted doing it the 10 times when she first started. She said it was great money, but she'd never do it again. Really couldn't believe that she'd even do this ever in the first place. It makes me think, what kind of girl am I with? And now I'm like, can I be with somebody who would sit there and jerk off a stranger for a couple extra bucks? Kind of feel like I'm going out with a hooker now.
Please tell me it was at least $5.
That's tough,
You
man.
got to get at least $5 for a hand job. Am I right?
$5? No,
I think they charge a lot.
Oh, for a hand G, you gotta get a C note.
She told me she'd never do it again.
She
apparently.
was young. She probably
Yeah.
didn't know what she was doing.
$20, you think?
She probably did it for 50.
And she said she was on prescription pills back then. So
Oh shit. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe $5.
I know it's her past, but it does bother me. What do you think? Could you stay with a girl that used to give handsies for a couple extra bucks?
Well, let me ask Virginia this. Let's say this comes out that when Panda was 19 years old, for about 6 months, he was giving dudes and women.
Dudes.
He was giving guys happy endings, and he was, playing with the bean with chicks. And you find this out, are you able to get over that?
I am a true believer of mistakes you made in the past are in the past. Now, yes, those are mistakes. Those
80 dudes.
80?
It was a busy
Was
season.
he in Kiss?
It was a busy season.
I mean, I think that I still have to say the past is the past. You can't let it get in your head. You've got to love him or her where you are with them right now. You can't be mad at somebody for their past. And if she owns it or he owns it as a mistake, I mean, who are we to judge? We've all sinned, baby.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Queen. Do you have a tough time with that?
I think I could get over the happy endings. I think I could do. Now, if I'd found out that she had a whoring past, then that would be a lot more.
It
of
was
a
just
struggle.
hand jobs, but there was like 50 of them.
So the whoring past is more of a knock than the hand
And she's
jobs.
giving up the punani, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that would be worse for me to know that thing had been violated in those ways.
Yeah.
But, reaching over and getting a little rub and tug, I could get over that a lot easier.
Just doing it for the paycheck.
Yeah, because, you can, avert your eyes or something, which you probably should anyway, so,
For 50 mil, do you jerk off Denny's? Tax free?
50 mil?
50 mil, and you have
You'd have to.
Denny's, drop your pants.
You have to lock eyes the entire
50 mil?
lock eyes the entire time, look at each other.
You better.
And you do it until he's done. 50 mil right in your account, tax free. Do you do it?
If he's willing, yeah.
You definitely do it.
I think I probably would.
I'd make it quick for him too.
I'd be like, thank you.
Jason would draw it out.
I would try to make it as short as possible for you.
You would, yeah.
If it was Jason would take your time.
Hold on,
Slow-
stop,
slow
stop,
down,
stop,
slow down,
Very
Ken,
slow.
slow down,
Kevin,
Ken.
stop.
That's
slow
all I'm
down
gonna
a
come. Stop.
Let's just look at each other.
Relax, don't do it. He'd be singing to Denny's.
Relax.
I just want to see where the line's at. All right, 50 mil, you do it.
50, yeah.
Well, I mean, 50
Interesting.
mil.
100 grand, is that too low of a number? 100 grand tax free?
Yeah, we're getting right to that threshold mark. That's not bad. I mean,
Six
for
figures,
for
100
a hand
grand.
job,
I would totally jerk off someone.
6 figures, baby.
it's pretty good.
It's
Yeah,
a lot of
That's
money.
a lot of money.
Still pretty decent. Yeah.
I feel like Kevin could jerk off Denny's and we could work the next day and it'd be fine.
It'd be
Agreed.
fine.
I
Yeah,
feel like
it'd be
that Kevin
fine.
would cut
We
him
can
off
move
a piece
on.
of that money.
Well, we understood what was going on.
Yeah, it's a business thing.
It's a transaction.
For both ends, you'll cut them a piece. You got to.
It's
Yeah.
not emotional. It's not
There's
love.
an extra meal if you get not a drop on me.
I have a feeling you think I get emotional about it.
I think Jason does.
Connected.
Jason wants to talk about it afterwards.
I want to snuggle with Kevin.
Denny's will never speak of it again.
You'll never hear of it.
He'll never tell a soul.
Yeah, yeah,
It's in
yeah.
the vault.
I got a couple of beers in me. Hey, Kevin, remember the time you jerked me off?
The night ends with weeping.
He definitely tells like 2 or 3
Yeah.
KVJ Nationers.
No way. I'd keep our hand job moments together.
You would think it was over because we had discussed it, but then no, it comes up. And then
3
It's
months
coming
later.
up. It's coming
After
up.
cocktails and karaoke, hey Kev, you want to jerk me
you got a minute, real quick? I know we talked about this before, but
off? You'll get an email.
I think I'm developing feelings.
You'll get an email saying you guys are animals. I can't believe you're talking about this.
well, I gotta say, what up to some KVJ Nationers? Rosa, listening in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for about 10
Ooh.
years. Been out there listening.
Do we have a star on Albuquerque?
We going to now. Suits is on it.
Nice. Suits.
And also a little greeting from Fall River, Massachusetts, just 23 minutes from Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh.
Listen every day on Podbean, and I got to say, Ann is repping hard for the Northeast with the accents galore.
Oh yeah,
She's a star.
she
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Said, last but not least, I am trying to rep for KVJ with a blue and white trucker hat, but it's been sold out forever. Any word on when these will be back in stock? Question for Sass or Salt. We'll
Those
find
yeah.
out.
those are cool hats.
You know what
Yep.
you can do? Take us out of the loop and just email the girls from Sass and Salt. They're so cute. They're so nice. They'll email you right back. Sarah or Tatiana, one of them will get right back to you, and they'll let you know if the hats are coming back, when, all that kind of stuff. And if you slide them a little extra cash, they might make a special order for you.
They are the opposite of me. They get back to you really quick.
Yes.
That's right.
And they are professional and punctual. Everything Jaybird's not.
All right. Now he's getting hurtful. We're having a good time. We're having some laughs.
You're just drunk.
And it's
Yeah.
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Hump day.
Yeah. Go to the track.
Who you humping tonight?
Myself.
Humping that hand.
Less drama.
All right, you all have an amazing Wednesday. We will talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.